Hey, drum people, Mr. Fitz here. And we're talking today about the things we're going to learn on page 8. There are some very important concepts that we're going to learn about. The first one is called the single paradiddle. And the way a single paradiddle works is a 4-note pattern that goes right, right, or left, left, and has an accent on the first note, okay? So the sticking is the key with the paradiddle. You have to make sure that you follow that sticking, either one of those two stickings to make it a paradiddle, okay? Now, a paradiddle is a rudiment. It's one of the basic building blocks or patterns in snare drum playing, okay? Now, other two things that we are going to be learning about are the whole note and the whole rest. Notice it says a whole note gets 4 counts in 4/4 time, and a whole rest gets 4 counts in 4/4 time. Now the whole rest is probably easier to understand because it's just like 4 quarter rests in a row. The thing about the whole note, though, is that when you see it, you actually make one sound, but you count 4 beats. Okay, and I'll show you that in one of the lines. So right now, we're going to practice line number 15, which is called a quarter's worth. All right, and I'd like you to follow along in your music while I play it and watch my sticking, okay, as I do it. Now, hopefully I'm within the camera here and you can see my sticking, all right? Always count out loud. Keep good form, good stick position, okay? And here I go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in that, you notice that I did the sticking of the paradiddle. And so that's what you want to work towards, is to be able to play it along with me. Notice how in the 4th measure, I counted a whole rest there, and that sounded just the same as the 4 quarter rests in the 2nd measure. Now the last measure had the whole note in it, and notice that I played it this way. I went 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it makes only one sound, but it gets 4 counts or 4 beats. It sounds exactly like a quarter note followed by 3 quarter rests. All right, now we're going to move on to number 16, Hot Cross Buns. Hot Cross Buns is interesting and different because it has 2 parts written on the same music staff. So the upper notes where the stems go up are the snare drum notes, and so I'm going to play those first. The lower notes with the stems down are the bass drum notes. Okay, so here I go with Hot Cross Buns. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that's the snare drum part. Now, the bass drum notes are on the same staff. They're in the bottom space. When they have stems on them, the stems point down. When I play bass drum, I like to use my favorite hand, in my case, my right hand, and I flip the stick around so I get a bit of a heavier sound. Okay, so here I go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I want you to notice a couple things. That when I play, I always count out loud, and I always keep my eyes right on the notes. I don't let my eyes walk away from the notes at all. I'm constantly drilling my eyes right on those notes on the page and reading each note and each rest as I play it. Okay, so that's pretty important. I'm going to do one more for this video. This is now called Au Clair de la Lune, and this is your white belt song. Okay, and the way this one works, it's just a series of paradiddles for the most part, with just a measure at the end of each section that's not a paradiddle. Okay, so here I go. Au Clair de la Lune. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 So to earn your belt on that one, you have to count out loud, obviously. You have to do the correct sticking and the correct accents, okay? So have fun practicing those lines on page 8. Keep practicing.